Okay, so if we've looked at our prism, we've done the first part, we found the volume of what's inside the prism. If you look on your sheet here, you should now have, for all of the prisms now, found the volume. Remember, the formula for volume of a rectangular prism is length times breadth times height, and width is another word for breadth. So you go length times breadth times height, you get the volume. Then you make it longer, length times breadth times height, you get the volume. Then you say width times 2, and then you fill in this number in the box here. So what was the original width? 4 times 2, you put the number in here, and then you say what is the volume? It's the length times the width times the height, you fill in the volume. Then you do it for the third cube, okay, where here you had the original length, the original width, but you doubled the height, and then you should have values for the volume over here. But our task is to look at the surface area to volume ratio. So we want to find out how much skin is on our cube, okay? Just like the elephant has a surface area and a volume, we want to know how much skin is on our cube. So let's have a look here. How would we figure out how much skin is on our cube? Here we've got a picture of our original prism, which was 2 by 4 by 3, okay? If we want to figure out the skin, the net for the prism gives us a big clue. Remember, you can make a prism by making a net, but you have to figure out the right sizes. So let's have a look here. If we look at the cube, our cube has got 6 faces. Let's see, what are they? Can you see here? If I go over here, this shape over here, we can call it the front, okay? Then there's another shape, let's do it in another color, over, whoopsie, there's another shape over here. This is the top, okay? And then if we look again, we've got another shape over here, which is like the side, okay? I've only colored in three of the faces of this cube, but you know there's another side over here, okay? And then there is a bottom underneath, okay, that it's sitting on the table. And then finally the front has got its partner at the back, okay? So what we have to do is we have to figure out how big are each of these things. So our net can help us. If you have a look here, remember this cube, let me rub out all the writing here so we can have a look here, okay? If we look at this cube here had the front, and the front was 2 tall and 4 that way. So if we look on the net here, here's the one that's 2 by 4, so this one must be the front, okay? So opposite the front is the back over here. Can you see the back? Okay. Opposite the back is the front. It's the same size, so the other one that's 2 by 4 must be the back. Then this big one over here, that's the roof, okay? The roof is 4 this way and then 3 that way. So which one is 4 by 3? This one here must be the top, okay? And remember, the top has got its partner on the bottom. That's also the big one. So I really hope you've all made nets so you can understand my net. So which one am I left with here? I'm left with just this other side here. Can you see over here? I'm left with the side which is 3 going that way and 2 going up. So when I unfold my cube, there's my 3 and here's my 2. My 2 that was going up is now lying sideways. So this is the side and this is the side, okay? So can you see the skin of my cube? You can see it on the net, and there's a rectangle, okay, and this rectangle is 3 by 4, and then there's another rectangle for the back, and this one is 4 by 2. Can you see? You can count the blocks if you like. And then there's the top, okay, So this was the bottom, this was the back, this was the top, and the top is 4 by 3, and then there's the front rectangle, which is 2 by 4 is the front, and then we've got the two sides. Okay, this is the side, and the side is 2 by 3. Now all of these shapes are rectangles, and we know that the area of a rectangle, because we're looking at area, it's like the skin, the area of a rectangle is going to be, what is it? It is length times breadth. So for every single one of these shapes we can find the area. So the area of the bottom is 4 by 3 is 12 square centimeters. The area of the back is 4 times 2, which is 8 square centimeters. The area of the top is 4 times 3, which is 12 square centimeters. Look, it's the same as the bottom. And then the front is 2 times 4, which is 8 square centimeters. And the side is 2 times 3, which is 6 square centimeters. And there's the other side, which I never drew because I ran out of space. So we've got the other one. Okay, so if I wanted to know how big was the skin on this prism, I can add up all the sides on the net, or I can add up all the sides on the prism once I've found the area of all of those shapes. So if we wanted the total surface area, which we can abbreviate to TSA, it will be 12, see here, plus 8, plus another 12 for the top, plus this 8 for the front, plus 6 for the sides. Now, you can add this all up on your calculator, and this is the answer. Remember, this is my original prism. This is the answer that belongs in this box here that says surface area, and it lines up with my original prism. Belongs in here. Now, I know that thinking about the cube is quite hard, and you can use the nets in the box, okay? But if you don't want to think too hard, and I know some of you don't want to think too hard, and you can do your working on rough paper, if you go to this thing that I gave you, this piece of paper with all the formulas, there is a formula here for a rectangular prism. What is the total surface area? And it says to you, it's 2 times the breadth times the length, plus 2 times the breadth times the height, plus 2 times the length times the height. So if we go back to my picture here, you can see here I put the formula here, okay? I'm going to rub out all of these things that I drew, and we can see if we can just use the formula and work out what the answer would be from the formula. So all they've done with this formula is they've said to you, okay, we're going to call all the faces by their proper names, and we're going to work it out. So we've got 2 times, what's the bottom times the length? Yes, see, this is the base, the bottom times the length, which is 4 times 3, plus 2 times the bottom times the height. This is going to give us the front and the back over here. Can you see where I'm coloring in? And then we've got finally 2 times, which one have we not worked on? It says to you the length times the height. Okay, which one was the length? Was the length 3? Yes, the length is 3 and the height is 2. And you can work this all out in your calculator, and it should give you the same answer as this gives you. Okay, the total surface area for the original prism. So you can write this formula from the formula sheet on a piece of scrap paper, and then you use the numbers in the table over here, the length, the width, and the height. Remember, the breadth and the width is the same thing, and you will get an answer for the surface area. So once you've done it for the original prism, you have to then do it for the next prism. Remember, there was more than one prism. So then the next prism over here is this one. Okay, look at the pictures on your third page. This is the prism where we kept the same height. We kept this the same, but we made it longer going that way. Okay, and so this, you will have to do exactly the same sum all over again. Okay, or make your nets and see, just you can draw a rough net like this, but put the new numbers on with the front, the top, the back, the bottom, and the sides. You can put the numbers from the diagram over here on it, and then you work it out and you put the numbers in these boxes over here. And sad to say, because this is a task, you have to do it for all 3 prisms that you doubled the volume. Okay, and then you will have filled out this table.